everyone. This week is the 30th week in Ordinary Time. Ordinary Time is green because we're growing in our understanding of Jesus and his teachings. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus told a story to some people who thought they were better than others and who looked down on everyone else. Two men went into the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood over by himself and prayed, "God, I thank you that I am not greedy, dishonest, and unfaithful in marriage like other people. And I'm really glad I'm not like that tax collector over there. I go without eating for 2 days a week, and I give you 1/10 of all I earn." The tax collector stood off at a distance and did not think he was good enough even to look up toward heaven. He was so sorry for what he had done that he pounded his chest and prayed, "God, have pity on me, I am such a sinner." Then Jesus said, when the two of them went home, it was the tax collector and not the Pharisee who was pleasing to God. If you put yourself above others, you will be put down. But if you humble yourself, you will be honored. The Gospel of the Lord. In this week's Gospel, Jesus teaches us about prayer and our relationship with God. A really important person went to the temple to pray. In his prayer, he thanked God for how great he was and all the wonderful things he did. Based on what he said about himself, it sounded like he was a good person, except that he talked about how he was better than others. Have you ever thought you were better than other people? Do you think that feeling like you're better than others would make God happy? Then a person who had a lot of people who didn't like them went to the temple to pray. He was a tax collector, which means that he took money from people to give to the Roman government who had taken over the area. So he knew that no one liked him. We don't know for sure with him, but in many cases those tax collectors also took extra money for themselves, which made people really not like them. All he could say to God was that he was so sorry. Based on what he said, it didn't sound like he was such a good person. Have you ever felt really bad about something you've done? Do you think God would come to help you when you felt bad? Jesus surprised everyone by saying that the person who was sorry, the tax collector, was the one who made God happy with his prayer. He realized he needed God, and he realized he was no better than anyone else. And that made God happy. The person who thought he was important and talked about how much better he was didn't make God happy. Jesus said that if we think we're better than others, we'll soon realize how wrong we are. This story really teaches us something about God and how we connect with God. God does not want us to think that we're better than others. And he wants us to see how much we need God. And then he will come to us. Maybe if we find ourselves thinking we're better, it's time for us to turn back to God and say we're sorry. Because it turns out that when we think we should talk about how great we are, we actually need to be sorry for thinking that way. And when we're so sorry we don't even think God can forgive us, God comes to us and makes us feel better. And when God comes to us, we may as well be the most important person in the world. That's how great we'll feel when God is there with us.